Well, good evening, internets. I was just having a little bit of technical issues. That's why I was a little bit slow getting this thing going. But welcome to another edition of Bookward Bound, my 301-day journey from I should really do this to done. And what is that done? The done part is the creation of a brand new book by January 1st of 2021. And you've actually seen the cover already. It looks like this. It's called Nonfiction Brand, Discover, Craft, and Communicate the Completely True, Completely You brand you already are. And it's all about personal and small business branding because, don't tell anyone, they're the same thing. If you have a small business, it truly is the most personal of brands. And so consequently, you should be creating a brand for your small business that is based on you, the person, the completely true, completely you part of that brand equation is what I'm here to talk about and what I'm here to write about in this book. So every night I come down here, as I have for, how many days now is it? I'm trying to find the sheet. I think it's like 190 days. This might be day 190. Hold on, let me see if I can find the right piece of paper. No, I can't. But let's just say tonight, hey, it's day 190, maybe. And I come down here and I work on the book in one way or another. And some nights I'm editing, others I'm designing. Tonight I think I'm going to be doing some actual writing. So let's get right to it. I'm going to kick it on over to Scrivener, the application I'm using to actually write this book. And it looks a little something like this. You can see here's the main window where I do the writing. And then over here are all the sections and pages or chapters, whatever you want to call them, however you want to refer to your formatting, the way you're staging out the book. I'm calling them chapters and sections. So here you see a chapter, and there you see a section, a subsection. So it's a main section or a main chapter and subsections. Got it? Yeah, I'm going to mess with that nomenclature undoubtedly and mess that up before I get done. But that said, I started last night writing a new section about my friend Balazs Ferenczi, who turned his personal passion for wristwatches, which I'm not wearing one tonight, into a personal brand and a new career. So I left off down here, and just before I started tonight, I wrote the line or the words. It was a long shot that paid off. I wrote that last night, but not enough to pay the bills. However, since Balazs, Z-S, I always spell his first name wrong, took the bold step to enter the fine watch industry. He is writing for a recognized, for a renowned industry sector, around industry publication, had relationships with all sorts of boarding businesses, was easy for his confreres at Fratello magazine to get him an interview at the online fine watch marketplace. Think eBay for Rolexes. Corona 24. The erstwhile hotel concierge became turned himself into an international wristwatch. Sorry, I'm doing some file cleanup. Sorry, Rolexes. Go to there as well. Expert. Regularly gets to jet around the world for new product releases, hang out, eating sandwiches with Hollywood stars at the 24 hours of Le Mans, the very coolest coolest handmade timepieces at the same time. Rough life. A rough life. Rough life that he created for himself because he did the hard work of knowing who he was. Then lining it with what he does and how he does it. All right, so confrère. I gotta look up a confrère dictionary. think I've got a French dictionary in here. Yeah, I do. Qui ou de confrère, masculin, confrère. Me, sorry, I don't speak French. I think I might have to open up the old Safari. Safari. Confrère. Is that a word? I don't think it's a word in English, is it? A colleague. Oh, we're going to give it the cool. Paid off. Okay, where's confrère? Well, that doesn't work. His confrère. His colleagues. Why is that looking weird? I think I'm gonna. That's the other way. Dang it. All right, we're going to keep the accents off because it's a pain in the butt to deal with them. So sorry. However, think about leap. Oh, he doesn't. Turned a job into a career. Job into career. Now, every time he writes an article or takes a photo or stages and takes a photograph of a $20,000 handmade Swiss watch. Balazs is actively boosting his personal brand within his chosen industry. And And that's the point. He chose the industry based on his deep interest his previous job, the industry had chosen him. And but the fit just wasn't there. Eating sound. Hi, Keanu. Wasn't there? Rather than live a life of quiet and desperation, he decided to do something about it. And wouldn't take Sure. Undoubtedly played role in his story, but you can't get lucky if you're not playing the game. Balazs did with all his might and won. Because he came to play. All right, so I think I need to reach out to the old Balazs. Let's go. Dang it. Darn it. Yeah. Hey. I'm writing about you in my new book, and really use artsy shot of you with one of your fancy wrist watches in grayscale. Any chance you could email me a high res version for high res version inclusion in book? All right. Well, simple question. He'll go, what are you writing about? And I'm like, well, you're going to find out, dude. I'm not going to show you ahead of time. Rolexes. How do you spell Rolexes in plural? Rolexes. Is the plural of Rolex Rolexes? Yeah, I guess so. Jeez, look at that. $129,000 for an unused Rolex Submariner. Lordy. Yeah, well, that's why I wear Timex or Iron Man watches. Holy crap. I'm playing around with an idea, like more of the story. Like, what if I called it a non-fiction brand? Moral of the story, and make it bold. And maybe Avenir, non-fiction. You don't like where you are or what you're doing. Dig deep to find out who you really are. Then online. Line everything else with it. I could maybe do something like that. Really are. Your then align everything else with them. Then align with it. Who you really are. If you don't like where you are, you don't like where you are or what you're doing, dig deep to find out who you really are, your interests, your passions, passions, core reasons. Passions, core reasons for drawing breath on this earth. Then align everything else along. Then align everything else to match. Everything else to match. I don't know if that's right. Line everything else to match. Of the story. Is it too much to... Everything to match. It's not to match. To align it to match. Well, this is one of those things where as you're writing it, it makes sense, but it doesn't necessarily read right or read correctly. So I'm going to have to spend some time looking at this, mulling it over in my mind. And that's okay, because that's exactly what I do. I do a rough draft, and then I go through and I read it, and I make changes, and I tweak this, I tweak that, because I want it to flow. I want it to have a sense of style. I want it to be very musical in terms of the way it sounds, the way it reads. It shouldn't read like notes on a page. It should be more like a song in the air. So that takes time. Right now what I've done is I've taken the concepts, the core concepts, and thrown them into my computer. And they can sit there for a while, marinating in their own juices while I figure out, is this exactly what I want to say and exactly how I want to say it? Well, that's a good question. So I'm going to let it marinate overnight. But that's not going to stop me from coming back here tomorrow night, because, again, I got to do another one of these dang things. So I want to find the piece of paper that shows me how many days I've been doing this. All right, so today is the 9th. All right, so 9/8 was 185 days. 9/9 is 186 days, with 115 left to go. And that's telling me that I got plenty of time to work on this thing, but I've got a lot of red flagged sections left to do, so I better keep myself honest by coming down here and working on it. And the one way I'm doing that for sure is by co-opting you into becoming my peer pressure patrol that's keeping me honest, coming down here, working on the book, and moving it forward one way or another. So tonight I added another 350 words or so to 350 words already written. That gets me to a 2 to 3 page section in the book that's all about this kind of case story about Balazs Ferenczi, my buddy, out in Karlsruhe, Germany. And that's cool. Feeling good about that. I've already asked him for photos, which is good, because I can, again, make him look good by saying photo by Balazs Ferenczi, photo of Balazs Ferenczi, photo by Balazs Ferenczi, which will be fun. And hopefully he'll take a really cool pic. We'll see. And we'll add it to the book. That's it for me tonight. I'm DP Knudten with the Nonfiction Brand Podcast, which comes out every single Monday. So today is a Wednesday, and that means that it's only 2 days since the last one came out on Monday, featuring a really cool guy from Sydney, Australia named Christian Small. He's a golf pro that wanted to try to qualify for the Australian Open, so he did a 191-day challenge, adventure for himself as he prepared to try to qualify for the Australian Open. Fascinating story. I won't tell you whether he qualified or not. You'll have to listen to the episodes and find out. This episode on Monday was 107. Then one next week features Christian as well, and that'll be 108. So you can look for those wherever you get your fine podcasts for free. Just look for or search for Nonfiction Brand, and you'll probably see my smiling face in black and white doing this, and you'll know it's the right place. So check that out. And also don't forget to like, subscribe, refer, and review that podcast, because that helps other people find it. That's it for me tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. But until then, theme music, take us on out. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thanks.